Hello, everyone, and welcome to. I was gonna say, welcome to VYTALCast, and I almost said Portal 64. I almost said Portal Cast or like, yeah, I guess Portal and Vital is just Portal, yeah. But hey, Verif. So. Well,
I need to pull up the chat on my computer.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good thing why I sent you the link like 2 seconds ago. I'm like, oh yeah, a link. That is usually what I send. Hey, it's fine. Why? Because I am here. Thank you, Hunter Steve. Oh, I am not. Oi! Okay, so Sunny, on Wednesday, I had an Assassin's Creed Syndicate stream. And we started having this joke near the end because all the NPCs kept saying oi. So we all just started saying oi, like Miles does in his RTAA. So we're like, oi! 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 What you doing, governor? Yeah, so, that happens a lot.
Isn't like, or when Deku was like in his like disguise recently, isn't his character the one that was like,
does he say
oi?
Does he say oi?
I feel like he did.
I think he says,
in the manga.
I think he says, hey you, hold on, I'll pull out said manga.
Anyway, just the word oi made me think of Deku.
It's either in volume 10 or 11. My guess is gonna be 11, but are
you okay there?
No, it's just tomorrow's episode. I'm okay. It's just tomorrow's episode. Okay, all right. It's definitely in volume 10, not 11. Sorry, I'm like having tears pop out. Like, oh no, what am I doing to myself? Okay, let's see. Them in disguise. Them in disguise. Them in disguise. I passed it. Okay, we do have RWBY stuff we're gonna talk about today.
Yeah.
We're just not there yet. I just need to go back to when they get in their disguise. It's a really cool page. It's a really big page. Come on. Oh, that's the Pro Hero meeting. Okay, this is right when they get in the TV. Okay, there's Deku with his goatee.
Yeah, as usual, we are very professional.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you could talk about something. Hold on, guys. We're trying to find when Deku says oi, or if he even does say oi.
Yeah. Okay, I guess, like, for anyone who's in the chat, I don't even know how many people are in there right now. Are any of you guys actually, like, going to RTX? And, like...
Oh, he does say oi!
Yay!
Wait, I'm trying to turn it. He says it like right where the crease is for the audience to see. My Hero Academia, the manga, buy it. Actually, Barnes and Noble during the summer will often do a like buy two get one free deal with
cool.
manga, and that's actually how I got into My Hero Academia. I was like, I want to try a new manga, and that Kaido Dan and were you tweeting about My Hero Academia last summer? Or like last fall?
I didn't start watching it until a couple months ago.
Okay, so it was like that Kaido Dan. I think it might have been Freelancer Amber and Cal. No, not Cal, because she has mixed feelings about it. But there were a few of the other RWBY Reactor YouTubers tweeting about it, and I was like, I'm gonna try the manga, and immediately bought like the first 5 volumes. There were only like 5 volumes available at the time I started, so. Yeah,
anyway, if anyone in the chat is going to RTX, I think Inspector Who said they're going to RTX. I barely know a lot of you guys, so I want to meet you, and we should like hang out. And I'm cringy.
Inspector Who and I guess Thunderstorm isn't here today, but those two I've met in person, and they're lovely people. And also, Inspector Who, you were on the Rooster Teeth podcast this week. I saw you. So last year, so every year, you know, Blaine and Chris, they do like a little RTX video. And last year they had a fail because, you know, in the Austin Convention Center, that really big escalator.
Yeah.
It was like the area you and I kind of hung around on one of the mornings.
Yeah.
So they were around there, and they're trying to yell, like, RTX, RTX, and, like, no one is, like, paying any attention to them. And so they just have awkward footage of them being like, RTX, nobody's listening, RTX. And there's like one guy flipping them off. But I saw Inspector Who walking around the floor, and I was looking for myself, because it was like, oh, I stood right in that spot, and this is like during the morning, and that was like my morning hangout spots for all 3 of the mornings. And it was like, where am I? There should be a Yang with a motorbike in that area. Because do you remember the Yang with the motorbike?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like, I guess it was like right before she showed up and we were there. And so, yeah, but yeah, Inspector Who, I saw you. You're in the crowd walking. And this was of last year's RTX. And it was pretty funny. It was like, hey, I see Inspector Who. But like, I thought that was like the tale of like, I'm somewhere. Because you hung around me a lot. And that's like the area where you and I united. But I couldn't find myself, so...
Wow, Inspector Who, what a cameo. You're, like, famous now.
Yeah. If you want to check, I think the podcast is, like, an hour and 47 minutes long, and I think it's around an hour and 15 minutes that they start talking about it. I mean, this is just me, like, shotgunning it from my memory. I watched it last night, because I fold laundry while watching the podcast, and I folded my laundry last night. So, speaking of RWBY stuff, someone, I think it was Hunt SD, that posted it in the RWBY Discord, which I'm giving proper shout out, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know. RWBY has a new animation director, which is Joel Mann. Yeet. So of course I had to ask the question of what else has he done, because like you want to know what else they've done. And he went on to LinkedIn, found them, and so he was lead animator for RWBY Volume 5, which, good job. And then
the animation looks great.
Yeah, well, he was also the lead animator for both the Weiss and Yang trailers for Volume 5, which were my 2 favorite trailers for Volume 5. And especially because they were good combat. They were really good combat scenes, especially Weiss's scene. So I was super excited to see, like, Weiss in her old dress, and then, like, the fighting just being over the top amazing. And that's when I knew, like, okay, they're improving the combat for RWBY. And they did. And I'm guessing, because he's the lead animator, he definitely had a hand in, like, the major fight scenes for Volume 5. So, like, Yang versus Raven, he probably helped with. And then, I mean, not Yang versus Raven, Cinder versus Raven. And then probably, like, Blake and Ilya's fight as well, with Sun involved. I keep forgetting Sun was in that fight. Gunchucks! He was also, like, the lead animator for, like, the RWBY short for Volume 4, which is the Harambe Grim, which, again, another awesome fight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was, I don't know if you went to that panel. I know it wasn't the RWBY panel. It was, like, RWBY animation panel or something. It was in a much smaller room, and that's where they showed us, like, bloopers from the first 3 volumes.
I've seen the blooper reels, but I was not at the panel.
Oh, okay. At that panel, I don't know if it was Joel, because honestly, like, I forget what people look like, or I can't match names to faces, but there was one of the animators there who displayed their way for animating Harambe, and he had these, like, really short crutches, like, not the usual ones under your arms, but, like, the ones that kind of, like, I don't know.
Like, you hold on to, like, that? Yeah.
And he started crawling around the room with them to show how they, like, animated the, like, gorilla movements and stuff. I think that was him, but honestly, I'm not sure.
Okay, might have been someone from the mocap team, but... Well,
I don't know how the teams are separated. Like, honestly, it's just like everyone has the same job to me.
There's a lot of levels. Okay, so Varys says he's been the lead animator for a while. Yeah, like, I was just reading, he's the lead animator in quite a bit of stuff. I think this is their shift to having direction done by animators, split up that responsibility more, which I agree with, because I believe Miles and Carrie kind of took the blame for, or at least Miles took the blame for, like, the fight scenes not being so good in Volume 4, and they were saying, oh, well, the animators were strictly following the storyboards they were given by Miles and Carrie, which Miles and Carrie are not animators. They don't necessarily
Yeah.
know how to make things look cool. Like they definitely know what cool looks like when they see it, but it is harder to create
They don't have
awesome
experience in putting it together.
Yeah, it's harder to create awesome than it is to recognize awesome. Like for me, as a YouTuber, yeah, I could recognize a high quality YouTube video, but as from a lot of you could see, I'm still like subpar in like the quality of videos I make, especially when it comes to like writing and trying to like keep my videos from being a rambled mess near the end.
Yeah, that's a big mood for me.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Stoic Dragon Eater is saying they were kid crutches for the Harambe Grim.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I forgot what they were called.
And then I guess Joel did do animation. Is this Joel Heyman? Or I don't think it was Joel Heyman.
I doubt it.
Wait,
we're
talking about what's his name? Joel. Oh my
Joel
gosh.
Man.
Oh my gosh. We're talking about Joel Man. Gosh.
Yeah.
I'm still used to like Joel Heyman, not Joel Man, you know? Yeah. No, sorry. That's the problem. Let the animators do their job, honestly. Yeah, and honestly, like from the RWBY short with Volume 4, and then like both Yang and Weiss's trailers, like it's like, hey, he has in my books, he has a pretty good track record in the fight scenes. And,
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and Honesty is saying there's too many Joels these days. Yeah, you just gotta be like, hey, man, and then it turns into Joel Heyman, who's like caboose. So,
I love Joel Heyman though.
Oh yeah, he's a cool guy. He's starting to show up in On the Spot a lot recently. Like he's been in 2 episodes within the last couple of months.
Then like does that include the one he hosted? Like he hosted an episode of On the Spot, and it was so funny.
Let me check. He might have hosted one. I'm gonna check. Oh wait, no. I want to click series. Yeah.
While he's doing that, I'll just say, like, obviously it's really great that they're putting responsibility for, like, animating and directing animation on someone who actually animates. And, like, I hope the RWBY, like, figures out, like, everything just so we don't have a repeat of, like, last volume when RWBY and Yang were supposed to be fighting Emerald and Mercury and, like, literally nothing happened. So, I'm glad if we get improvements in that area.
Yeah. Okay. So Joel On the Spot, he was the host on March 1st, and then he was on it again for March 22nd, which was like twice in the same month, which I think is pretty rare for people being on the Spot. And then he's on it again, just like last week. Sorry. There's a new episode that came out yesterday, and I got confused by which week it was. Joel Man mocaps a lot of things because he's so expressive, said Stoic. Yeah, and I think when it comes to like animation and voice acting, you have to be more expressive than usual. Or if you're in like, did you ever do plays, Sunny?
No, not really, but like my mom directs plays, so she knows everything about it and she tells me everything.
Okay. So she probably told you like if you're on a stage, you have to be a lot more expressive than you would be for like a TV show acting.
Yeah, because like nonverbal cues are like so important, especially in like a play.
Yeah, and like you have to, like it doesn't connect with all of the audience, so that way you have to like react to some stuff and like just really show emotion sometimes. So with voice acting, you have to really be over dramatic with your voice, because like and I've had this experience a lot when I try to do voiceovers on my own videos, where I think I'm being very expressive, and then I listen back to the recording and I sound very monotone. So I'm like, ooh, that was not what I wanted. So
yeah, that's happened to me before, like especially if I'm recording a video that has face cam. Like I don't know, I guess when I was recording my reaction to the RWBY soundtrack that just came out, it's like when I was going back and editing it, like there were parts where I was pretty expressive, but then the parts that I cut out, like that weren't really me like talking or reacting to it much, I'm just like, I thought I even looked more excited than this, like when I was filming, even if I'm not saying anything. But it's like I look at the footage, I'm sitting there like,
Yeah, no, that...
I'm enjoying some hecka good
No.
music, but it's like, I'm just like...
Yeah, no, that's definitely me during my first 3 reaction videos for RWBY Volume 3. Like, I was... Oh, man, I hated editing those because I'm like, well, for one, I was fighting on, like, to include footage or not to include footage, and just, like, rewatching my video, and I'm just, like, watching. Oh, no. And it wasn't until, like, Pura died that I was like, no! Or, like, Yang losing her arm that I was, like, overreaction. Oh, hey, Nikolai. He's here. Oh, dude, he has Frozone as his icon now.
Awesome.
I need to see The Incredibles 2, but I already know I'm not seeing it opening weekend, because...
Yeah, same.
Money. But, he says, Portal, what do you think about Jump Force? I am somewhat excited about it. I haven't watched the trailer, but I've seen screenshots and, like, people talking about it, and it sounds like a really cool idea to have all the Shonen Jump characters in one game and have them interact. It kind of reminds me of Blaze Blue a bit in that, because it's like, oh, all these characters from different worlds going into one. And one thing I had a couple of friends talking about, they're like, how are you going to play as Light from Death Note? And then today they just said Light's not a playable character, so it's like, oh, that answers your question. You don't play as him. Like, he's not a fighter. You know, because they're like, what are you gonna do? Write down someone's name really fast, and if they could stop you during it, like, they're like, Light can't fight, so
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So yeah, Jump Force looks great. I've been very low key with E3 this year because, as you and I talked about right before going live, is I'm just very money focused right now on like how I'm gonna afford RTX, and I'm gonna start selling plasma to like get some of that extra income. And yeah, so it's like it's not on my buy list. And really, even Halo Infinite, which I love Halo, and it probably won't be coming out for another year or two, it's like, I don't know if I'll end up buying that. Like, if it came out this year, I'm like, no. Like, all EA games are off the shelf for me. I think The Last of Us Part 2 is, like, the only game other than Smash Brothers that I was like, I'm gonna buy that. And then...
Yeah, like, the trailer for that was so good. Oh my god.
Yeah. Spectre Who says Halo Plasma. Yeah, we're gonna put them in the plasma grenades, and then I'm gonna throw it at anyone wearing lightish red armor and stick it right on their face. Just enough so it looks like a spider on their visor. So...
Oh, hey, if anyone in chat has been following my complaints about job hunting, I actually got a job. Yay!
Woo! Hey, Logan's in it. He said, Halo Infinite is probably a long way out. Yeah, I expect Halo not to be out till, like, 2020 or even 2021. Although some people are saying it's possible for next year if they really rush it, which, don't rush it, 343, please don't. And then British Pokemon 1991. I don't recognize you, so welcome to the stream. He says, I know that feeling to not having a lot of money to have nice things. Yeah, and wait, and Hunt SD is saying there's a Star Wars game? That totally went under my radar. Yeah.
I haven't even really been paying attention to E3 at all. So
yeah,
like,
yeah, no.
The only thing I know about is like Smash and Last of Us.
The only conference I watched was the Sony conference, and that was because I was watching it with Shane and Logan. Were you watching the Sony conference with Shane and I? There were a lot of us, and I can't remember if it was Destiny or that you were not available for. But the Sony conference was a mess, like, from a sound production standpoint. It was like they had a 5-year-old set up their microphones, and it was just, terrible. I mean, I loved it. Oh, okay, Logan said he missed most of it. Okay, because I thought I remembered you in it, but not the entire time. So, there was some other RWBY news I had, believe it or not. And this one's probably only interesting if you live in Las Vegas or close enough to drive there. Sorry to disappoint.
With
so
all the money I have, I'll take a quick flight out there. Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. So the RWBY cast, so Lindsay, Aaron, Kara, and Barbara, they were all going to be going to, all but Barbara were going to, or was Barbara going? I forget. There were 3 of them going. I think Barbara was the one that was not going to Salt Lake City. And so we were having Salt Lake City Fan Expo, and then there's like that whole terrible mess with that child author where they got doxxed by the convention. And so they all pulled out. Everyone but Vic. Vic was like the 4th person for RWBY, but Vic's involved with so much stuff that like you can't say he was like, there
Vic
for RWBY.
Vic goes to everything, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean he was just in Idaho for Oasis. My friends played football with him.
Wow.
So yeah, so everyone in Utah has been like, no, please come back. And the closest we got was they're going to Vegas Fan Fusion, and that is, I think, next weekend. When is it? Hold on, I'm trying to read the Facebook post. It says, oh, September 28th to the 30th, Vegas Fan Fusion is where they're going to be at, which I have family in Las Vegas. Like, my mom just left to go see them today. So it's like, I might try to go to that, since that's like the weekend that FanX would have been happening. And it's like, well, I'm not going there anymore because RWBY left the building and you guys have been treating this poor child author really terribly, and a lot of the people that I wanted to see just dropped out. But then they invited David Tennant, and I'm like, I want to see the Doctor.
We're having, like, this weekend there's an Austin Comic-Con, and, like, I was considering going, but, like, no one from Rooster Teeth is, like, even gonna be there. And also money. But, like, on their list of, like, vendors or comic companies or just like celebrity guests, like I literally knew no one, and I was like, what is going on?
That's a bummer. Yeah. So speaking of RTX, okay, I'm reading Spectre Who's comment. He says, speaking of RTX, I hear some people have gotten their badges already. Well, I'm not one of them.
I have no idea. Yeah.
Hurry it up, RTX. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh, did you see that the RTX Twitter account tweeted that they were going to open up more, like, platinum badges?
You're kidding me, right?
No, that's what they tweeted.
I mean, the platinum badges were like 300, weren't they?
I don't remember, but the reason I bring it up is because I looked at the comments, and, like, literally every reply to that tweet or that announcement was so negative. They were like, we had so many issues last year. You guys always let out too many tickets for, like, VIPs and platinum badges. And, like, everyone was so, like, negative about it. And I'm like, yeah, like, there are already, arguably, to a certain degree, too many people who come to RTX. Like, there are so many people, and it's just every year it keeps growing. So if they just keep adding, especially VIP tickets or whatever they're called, there's like 2 different VIP tickets or whatever. But like if they just keep adding that, then there's not going to be enough room for all of them. They're not going to get all the promised benefits. Like there's so many problems.
No, I totally agree with that, and not to mention the price is higher than I just said. The price is $728. Here I'm gonna pull up Chrome on the thing. Wait, why?
Like, I feel like it's just, like, a cash grab or something, because I don't know why people working on RTX don't recognize that there have been significant issues with having too many people in RTX. Yeah. Especially, like, in the VIPs.
Yeah, so, every year Platinum's price has been going up, and so this is, like, way too expensive right here. Like you could buy a fairly okay laptop for this price.
Yeah.
Which I mean I'm just comparing this to like FanX, which is my local convention, which is also like the 3rd biggest in the country, and their Gold Pass, which is like the platinum equivalent here. No, they got a Gold Pass, which is Weekend Plus, and then they got their VIP, which is like the price of their Weekend Plus badge, but is all the perks of the Platinum here. And it's just like, this is so much. Like, it's $728, but like I I could see why people will be mad. You spend $728, and then they open up more sales for people to get in, and it's like there's only so many exclusive seating, you know, and I bet they're losing some of that to the Weekend Plus people, and because they have, let's see, I think they do have reserved center stage seating, and okay,
like they
so
get in first at panels and get to sit in the front and all that.
No, I think that's still platinum. Weekend Plus is just like reserved center stage seating, which is like in the exhibit hall. So
yeah, I didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, no, it's all right. That's why I was clarifying. So for the platinum, it's like access to RTX for the weekend, the attendee bag, the exclusive lanyard, 2 autograph codes, 1 hour early access to Friday Expo, 1 hour early access on Friday to the Expo Hall. Man, I'm just flubbing that. Which is also on the Weekend Plus. And then the lounge access, which is also Weekend Plus. Reserved center stage seating, which is also center stage plus. And then priority panel line, which is what you're talking about, and the priority seating. Then there's the platinum exclusive party, 18 years older up. So there's some stuff, but again, with mostly just the priority panel line and the priority seating, like, there's only so many seats and so much room.
Yeah.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I think they started adding a third RWBY panel that's like only for the VIP or stuff like that, just so they have better access. That doesn't sound right.
Know.
I remember there being like there is an extra panel just for VIP. It was like the RTX Founders panel or something like that. But I remember
they've had like RWBY panels for first members only.
Yeah,
yeah,
first members. Yeah, because I remember I had access to one last year, and it was conflicting with another panel I wanted to go with, and I have not bought anything special. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like I'm looking at the screen, so I see the RTX prices, but I can't really quite read them. So is the platinum one the one that gets the party, right?
Sorry, what?
The platinum pass is the one that gets the party?
Yes, platinum gets the party.
I heard, or I saw on Twitter, like, after RTX announced it, some people were complaining some more, and they said, I don't remember exactly what they said, and I don't know the situation last year, so if anyone knows, you can, like, back this up, but someone was saying that the party quality has been going down, or, like, there's too many people, or, like, there's some bad stuff happening, and then they were like, if you invite more people, it's just going to get worse, and then someone who works on RTX was like, oh no, we'll make sure the party is still like intimate and organized and stuff. And I'm like, how can you do that if you're just inviting more and more people? Well, not inviting, but like opening up more and more tickets.
Yeah, like it's allowing more people in.
Yeah, and the prices go up every year, and like I just feel
which is a supply and demand issue, as which is a supply and demand thing, as Verif said. I laughed because I saw Logan making fun of me saying Expo Hall. But yeah, it's a lot of money, and it's like you do want to get the most out of it, and I guess opening up too many platinum tickets could cause an issue for that. And I don't know. Like,
do you think they should do in RTX maybe like New York City or like RTX LA or something? I mean, like, I know they have so many RTXs already, but like, do you think it would help bring down the crowds? Because if someone lives by the other location, they'll be like, I don't have to go to both.
So I know on Off Topic they kept joking about like having a RTX for New York, and then I remember seeing like, I can't remember if it was like a joke or something. Someone said, oh, it got confirmed, which, no, it hasn't. I'm looking at their live events page, but New York, I would guess, is the next best place, because that'll be for the East Coast people. Texas is close enough to the West Coast for West Coast people to go to.
I go to school in New York, so if they did a New York City one, I could go to both.
Yeah, you get to hog all the RTXs on our continent. How rude. No, because, you know, America's its own continent, and then...
Yeah.
No, that's just me saying I'm jealous. Verif is saying, I love an RTX Toronto. Yeah, that'll probably...
Like, sorry, does Verif live in Toronto, like, I'm assuming?
At least Canadian, but yeah.
Okay, well, here, just a quick off-topic tangent. Verif, if you live in Toronto, your American Hockey League hockey team just won the Calder Cup yesterday against my team, and I'm really pissed off and ran.
Alrighty
then. I love hockey. Continue.
Yeah. I don't know, like, also with, like, RTX, they do, like, special announcements at them, too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like, they're gonna run out of special announcements, so they keep making more RTXs. Although they do save some for, like, the New York Comic-Con and stuff like that. So it's like, I don't think that'll be too much of an issue. It would just be like, I don't know. It's just crazy to think about how many RTXs they're doing, and I'm just thinking about their, like, live events team having to plan all year long for all these possible foreign or local RTX conventions. And let's see, I saw someone say, Inspector Who said, only other RTX idea would be Japan. And boy, would I try to go to that.
Yeah, same.
Like,
oh my God.
It's like, I already want to go to Japan, but, like, you have an RTX there, I guess I'll just happen to be around.
Yeah.
So...
I want to go to Japan so bad, too. I have a friend there right now, and he keeps sending me pictures, and I'm like, ah!
Oh, man. Yeah, speaking of Japan and things that people still argue about, whether they're anime or not, someone in the chat mentioned it already, but I was going to mention it anyways. RWBY Chibi is coming back in 2 weeks. Hold on. When is June 30th? Which, it's a Saturday. I know it's that. So, okay, I accidentally opened my calculator. I meant calendar. Calendar! Yeah, okay, so yeah, in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, RWBY Chibi will be back, Season 3, and I will be starting my, reactions to RWBY Chibi again. So
yay. I don't know if I'll do that because I already have some videos I'm gonna make and I have a job and I still have school for a couple more weeks.
Yeah,
so who knows?
You're a little swamped. Yeah, for me, I'm trying to like do content more on a regular basis, and that'll help. I already have my World of Remnant video that's in the works, which I think I said that last week too. I just haven't touched it editing wise. I have a Destiny video ready to edit. And then I have, like, a few other videos to edit as well. So, Nikolai says, the Portal Squad goes to Japan. Yeah. That'll be so exciting. I mean, it's hard to imagine going to Japan where I'm like, oh, Austin, Texas, so expensive. You know, so going out of the country is a bit out of my league at the moment, but I would love to do that. Mm-hmm. Maybe if I sell my car, I could go to Japan, but... I don't want to sell my car.
All my belongings and all my parents' belongings. And...
Yeah. Yeah. Portal us to Japan. Oh, yeah. Come on, Morty. We're gonna shoot the portal gun and go to Japan. Nah, Rick and Morty reference.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Hashtag Portal Squad for Japan. Let's get that trending on Twitter, and maybe it just might happen.
Make a GoFundMe.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Hunters D made a... Okay, Hunters D said, a certain character got revealed, but I won't spoil it. And then someone immediately asks, is it Oscar?
Oh, wait. I know what he's talking about, but is it spoilers? Like, the Rooster Teeth account just tweeted it out if I'm talking about the same thing.
It's public information, so I would say it's not.
Yeah.
I saw that the butler is in the intro. Or, like, he's on the logo.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, Klein.
Yeah. Is it Klein?
That's what I thought.
Logan said, All Might in RWBY Chibi confirmed. Oh my gosh. That would be cool. Which, poor All Might. I'm going to sidetrack with My Hero Academia. I was at a convention last weekend for free because my friend had a free ticket. And her girlfriend was selling these lovelies.
Aww,
yeah.
cute.
Wait, hold on. There's a third one. So,
oh,
yeah, I bought
boy.
these for $6, and it was amazing. And then I met Joe Hernandez, who is the voice of Daruk from Breath of the Wild. Yeah, so yeah, he was an awesome guy. I have a photo that I'm still trying to retrieve from the convention, but I got to talk to him for like a half hour, and he was an amazing person.
That's rad.
Yeah, so also Rooster Teeth, you should totally hire Joe Hernandez. He's friends with Elizabeth Maxwell. Hey Elizabeth, maybe you could give him an in to Rooster Teeth. So, which honestly, when I mentioned Elizabeth Maxwell to him, he's like, "Oh my gosh, she's so amazing!" Like, he had a lot of respect for her because he was like, as a voice actor, like to have one of your games get nominated for Game of the Year, it's an honor. And she had 3 games last year get nominated. It was like the 3 nominations. She was in all 3. And he's like, I can't believe it. I'm like, yeah, she's like in anything that's like animated and Rooster Teeth. So, yeah, it was funny. Okay, so Stoic Dragon Eater is saying All Might versus RWBY. It ends in friendship.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, oh man, I would love a My Hero Academia RWBY crossover. And if anyone wants to make fan art of RWBY and My Hero Academia having a crossover, I would totally feature that here. And this is a perfect segue to the fan art of the week moment. And it is the Indominus Rex from Jurassic World as a Grim.
Ooh.
So yeah. This one was very hard to like resize to fit on screen. Can I just say that? Like, when I brought it into OBS, it took up the entire screen. I couldn't see anything but a face, and I was like, ah. And then I kept shrinking it. I had to shrink it for like a minute straight almost, and then finally it's the size it is. And is Jurassic World out this weekend or next weekend?
I don't know, and I'm probably not even going to see it.
Yeah, I mean, big mood. So let's see, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is out on June 20th. Oh, wait, no. That's like the earliest screening you can get of it is next Wednesday.
It's next weekend.
It's next weekend. So this fan art was perfectly timed for Jurassic World, even though, yeah. Inspector who says, and I made it smaller for Discord. Mercy, how big was it originally? Because this was from the Discord that I downloaded. Man. Ah, no. The Chosen One is asking, have you seen Barney as a Grim?
No, and I don't want to.
I thought he already was in his Grim form. What are you talking about? No, man, that would be weird. Okay, so Nikolai is asking an interesting question. For Volume 6, any new Grims you want to see?
I don't know, like, okay, I want to see new Grim, but I don't have anything in specific. So, okay. I just like new stuff.
Yeah, I mean, my answer would be Dragon Grim, but we already had that in Volume 3. Yeah.
No, it was the Wyvern! Do you remember that debate?
Yes, I remember that debate. Like, guys, let's not get technical on it. I remember that debate because I had one of my YouTube comments when I made the reaction video, and I said, oh wait, no, I think I said, is that a bat? And people got, yeah, I'm like, is that a bat? And people are like, it's a dragon. And then some people were like, no, it's a wyvern. And then it started a whole debate, and I'm like, oh. It was like things you regret to say on camera and you can't take it back. And like, Modern Camera Guy has a good idea. He says a saber-toothed tiger Grim.
That sounds rad.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then let's see. I mean, I would love to see. Oh, and then the Chosen One is saying a badger would be cool. Man, I would just.
I want to think of one now.
You know what? I want to see a bat Grim. There I go. I'm copping out on this. No, Man.
I want to see a butterfly Grim.
Like a giant butterfly Grim?
I don't know.
Or
I just thought it'd be a cool mix.
yeah. One thing I would be interested in seeing, and this isn't like a Grim, but it is Grim related. So with Bleach, they have the Hollows, and then like Soul Reapers could kind of like have a Hollow mask, or certain Soul Reapers, because they were kind of like, they became a Hollow Soul Reaper like hybrid, and so I would like to see something that's like a hybrid, like someone that got corrupted by putting on a Grim mask or anything like that. Just the Babadook.
Well, he's already kind of a Grim. He's like black and white
Dude,
or whatever.
I saw that movie, and I have to say, I think he was put in the wrong category. I think he was supposed to be put in comedy, but somehow made its way in the horror section of Netflix.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the meme where, like, it was especially
it was because of the meme that I watched the movie,
like,
but
section.
Yeah. Oh no, it belongs in that section. The Babadook is a gay idol. He is flaming. Are you kidding me? No, I love the Babadook meme. I saw the movie and my phone thinks I'm talking to it.
I heard a scary beep.
Yeah, my phone was like, "My name's Babadook," and it's like, "No, you're not. You're not. You're not gonna knock 3 times." Yeah, no, the Babadook was an interesting movie. I really liked the ending, and like, it was actually one of those movies that had symbolism in it, and you had to like kind of look up stuff to understand the ending a bit, which I don't mind, especially once I found out what the answer was. I was like, okay, if I rewatch this, this will have a bigger impact on me, which is nice. So, back to Grim.
Do we want to transition to a topic that's actually in the thumbnail of this episode, but we haven't even talked about it?
Yes, sure. I mean, I want to answer the Grim question, but yes, we will talk about that. Yeah, I've been putting up joke answers. Are you kidding me? I would like to see an abominable snowman or like Bigfoot type Grim. I don't think it would be too different from like the Harambe Grim, other than like body type, but it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or like it's in like the wintry areas, or it's up in the mountains, or like a centipede type Grim.
Ew.
Like you know how like in the third Hobbit movie they had those like giant worm things that like dig through the earth and all that. Yeah, like one of those, and like I can imagine those like attacking the Schnee dust mines and stuff, and that's why they have hunters helping them.
Yeah. But when you said centipede, I was just like, no.
Too many legs. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Imagine having to animate a giant centipede like crawling all around the screen.
Oh, you know what? That does sound like a lot of legs to animate. But I'm sure they could group them. The monster from Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back as a Grim. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of actually. I looked at my Star Wars poster. I'm like, you know what? A Yeti. Okay, so Camp. There was an interesting tweet by Miles not too long ago, and I'm going to try to pull this up. So someone tweeted at him asking, why is there no Camp on YouTube? And he said, oh, just kidding. He said, if I could pull up my thing and remember my password. Oops. That was not the right password. So, he said, what do you mean? Twitter, don't be rude. As I'm entering my password incorrectly, you know what, screw you, Twitter. He basically said to the tweet, like, to fund an animation like Camp, they aren't making enough money through the YouTube views. Like, because, you know, Camp gets demonetized a lot, and I guess YouTube is starting to age gate more videos than they used to, and I could easily see Rooster Teeth being one of those channels, and because I'm over 18, I don't see that ever, because I'm already over the age gate, so I don't have to, like, re-enter my password or any sort of parental confirmation questions. So, Yeah, they did announce that for Camp last month. I mean, it only came to my attention once I saw the tweet from Miles. I totally missed that. What was that? What was that? Hold on. My alert box. It says the Modern Camera Guy just donated $5. Thank you so much, Modern Camera Guy. You are awesome. And where are you in the chat? I remember seeing you in the chat a while ago, but maybe he left the chat to try to donate through a PayPal or something. But thank you so much. Yeah, and so Chibi is very child friendly, so I don't think it'll get age gated. But it's possible that Rooster Teeth as a channel could get age gated. Because
I'm on Miles's Twitter and I'm looking for the tweet, but I can't find it.
It was like earlier this week, so if he tweets a lot, or hey, there's a Modern Camera Guy in the chat. But yeah, some people were asking about that, and he's saying, hey, if you want Camp to keep going, like, please watch it on the Rooster Teeth site. And as far as RWBY goes, whether it's RWBY Chibi or just RWBY, I still see it hitting YouTube because it gets so many views. But on the other hand, they are upping production, and YouTube is making it a little harder to make as much money as you could per view. So
yeah, YouTube is really gone to crap.
I mean, it's not YouTube's fault, and YouTube honestly, like, is doing the best they can to stay afloat. Because, like, if advertisers leave YouTube, then everyone goes down. But if YouTube...
I feel like it's so absurd, though. Like, they're flagging and demonetizing stuff that is literally not bad in any way, shape, or form.
No, I know. And here's... So their algorithm is a double-edged sword. On the bright hand, it could do a lot more work than what they could possibly and afford out of manpower of people manually reviewing every single video. Because, like, every minute there's over 100 hours worth of content uploaded to YouTube, so there's just no way, no how you could get enough people to keep up with that. And then on the other hand, it does make mistakes and demonetize stuff. Like, for example, my Assassin's Creed stream on Wednesday, I expected to get demonetized. It got demonetized, but then right during the middle of the stream, it regained its monetization status. So it does change things back after a while if it notices it makes a mistake. As some people noticed, if they, like, enter stuff, anything that's, like, LGBT, they get hit, which is like, hey, that's discriminatory, and YouTube is like, it's learning, you know?
Yeah, but, okay, like, YouTube was tweeting a bunch of stuff the other day, like, supporting LGBT plus things, and, like, they're like, oh, we love these people, and literally all the comments were like, then why do you automatically demonetize when this is in the title? And I just, like, YouTube, I feel like on some of the things they're definitely doing the best they can, but just on others, I feel like they're really hypocritical and, like, not running as good a business as they could be.
Yeah, and, like, I don't know, it's really hard to determine, like, okay, like, which videos will be appropriate, which videos aren't, and, you know, context is a big part of that, and it's, like, it's really hard to see a machine understanding context, you know, because, like, if, for instance, we're talking about, like, Camp and RWBY, like, outside of the actual show and all that, or, like, just us talking about that, the machine isn't gonna, like, double-check what we're talking about to see if that's appropriate, and I can see if they're, like, having, like, just the word sex or anything in the title like that where they talk about that, like, it might say, oh, that's inappropriate. Like, it might be thinking there's something on screen or something, and they're like, oh, that's not child appropriate, or not all advertisers want to be advertised on something that's about sex. And I could see sexuality often getting confused for that, which is why they get hit a lot. And this is just me trying to be positive and be like, hey, I'm trying to give them, like, a wing and be like, you're not trying to do this with ill intent. I think it's an honest mistake, but it is something you need to fix. And there's a lot of stuff that gets hit. Like, I've had VYTALCast get hit a lot, and then stuff gets fixed later. Or for today, we're fine. Like, we're in the green. So I'm like, yay. So I have seen improvements from it, but there are people whose livelihoods depend on it, and, like, just if they only make like 2 videos a week and just one of those videos get hit, that's a huge impact on income. And so I could totally see why Rooster Teeth is like, hey, really pushing for our own site. But now with net neutrality rules being pulled back, now even their own site might not be completely safe. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of crap going on in the internet, and
we're nearing the apocalypse.
Oh gosh, yeah. So Huntus D is saying, I wonder how reactions will go right now. I'm just not showing the episode. You're talking about Camp, right? Oh, and Red vs. Blue hasn't been on YouTube as well. And I think that has a bigger tell to like what might happen to RWBY than Camp would, because Red vs. Blue is a pretty big series. So
yeah, but like those two series, they have like more language and arguably more adult themes, I feel like sometimes.
Yeah.
And RWBY, I mean, obviously until the second half of Volume 3, it was pretty much like totally appropriate for kids.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, like, not, there was fighting, but
no,
like,
no, I know. I was just thinking about why it's not considered totally kid appropriate anymore, but
yeah. Like, there's been, like, what, 1 or 2 real curse words in the show?
Yeah, no, for overall, I'm like, I'll show it to a 10-year-old. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of stuff, but, like, I could see, like, it doesn't really cost a whole lot of extra money to post Camp or Red vs. Blue onto YouTube. But I do see them being like, okay, if we post it there are going to be people who would rather watch it on YouTube rather than our own site. For whatever reason, like maybe because they want to browse more than just Rooster Teeth stuff at the same time, and there's like a potential loss of income versus like, okay, this is how much we make per view with YouTube, and then this is like how much we make per view on our own site, and then like if YouTube starts taking away some of that becomes a bigger loss of potential income.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey guys, jump over here where we make more and you still benefit for watching it for free, or you have the first membership and you pay like $30 a year, which isn't that bad, or if you get Verve, then you get even more bang for your buck because it's like $10 a month and you get Crunchyroll, Funimation, Rooster Teeth, and like a few other things packaged in, which is a lot of stuff. So yeah. Do you remember Verve being like one of the big sponsors for RTX last year?
Last year? No, I feel like I've only heard more about them this year.
I was talking to my other RTX buddies about it, and I think I'm like the only one who remembers seeing Verve stuff around RTX. And I think...
Yeah, I don't remember it at all.
It was like around RTX last year that Verve announced Rooster Teeth becoming part of Verve. Which was like, oh my gosh, their involvement with RTX made so much more sense. But, I mean, that was just my point of view. I guess I was the only one constantly looking at advertisements around the place. There was like the Apollo show, which...
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, what is this?
There was too much of Apollo. Everyone was mad about Apollo. Yeah. Oh, Spider KP says, hopefully I'm not too late. I just woke up. Well, we're hitting the last 10 minutes, so...
Yeah, and we've talked about all our planned topics.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah, we did hit all our planned topics. But hey, we mostly stayed on RWBY and Rooster Teeth, but...
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah. With the animation stuff changing a bit... That's a phone call. Mom! Okay, sorry. She knows I have my YouTube show. And she's going to Las Vegas right now. It's like, why are you calling me from so far away? Hunter Steve's like, has it already been an hour? So
it's been 55 minutes, just about.
Yeah. So when it comes to like Red vs. Blue and Camp, and like potentially RWBY, I wonder how reactions are gonna go. Because as Hunter Steve said, he's just not showing footage, which I think is a safe move. But I also want to know like if they're even okay with that, or if they're like, hey, you know, after so long, do show footage, you know, like...
Yeah. Is he talking about, like...
He's talking about...
In terms of monetization?
No.
Or just like getting copyright strike? Because
he was just talking about like posting the videos.
Oh, I don't know. I took it like in the context of monetization. I was just gonna be like, I don't monetize reaction videos.
Yeah,
anyway.
no, I don't monetize like my reaction videos at all. Like the $5 that Modern Camera Guy just donated, like that's pretty much the only way I make money off of YouTube is through the donations. And
I haven't even like monetized anything ever.
like I have like VYTALCast monetized, but like you know, that's like probably where I make the most of my ad revenue. For I had something I was going to say. Oh, for reactions, like the whole